Digital ID. Ministry of Health of the Republic of Indonesia. So, let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by WHO. If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. G20 should adopt WHO standardized vaccine passports.
So let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by WHO. If you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. So for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, which clog the economy globally, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved, G20 country has agreed to have this digital certificate using WHO standard, and we will submit into the next Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulation. So hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy.
Bill Gates donated $1.27 billion to fund the UN Agenda 2030 global goals. Part of the money is going towards global digital ID.
This whole argument reminds me of something going back for some years. This is ID cards by the back door, isn't it?
Look, I was then, I remain even more convinced today, particularly with biometric technology, the world will move to biometric ID, and they'll do it because in the end it's better for people. It's not about, look, the amount of information government's going to have on you is going to be minimal compared to what your local supermarket has on you. So
G20 Indonesia, Leaders Declaration, carbon limits will be next.
If you look at, for instance, the Great Reset, I mean, that's something that if you say the Great Reset, you're smeared as being a conspiracy theorist as well. The Great Reset...
Even though Klaus Schwab actually stands up at the G20 and announces it.
Yeah, and Bill Gates as well. But if we go back a few years, they were talking about this. This is not just a random press release. It's not even smoke and mirrors. It's all out in the open. And so we need to move from this narrative that people are seen as conspiracy theorists for talking about stuff that's actually a conspiracy agenda. And it's under the auspices of virtue to get people on side, to do good, to be a good person. But actually what we need to do is take a step back from that and realise that it's a massive asset grab. Right. If you look at land, you look at money, you look at data, you look at people's health, autonomy, it's all under this, where they're trying to control us, take away our freedoms, and what's going to be left at the end? We own nothing, but we're happy? No, we'll own nothing and be miserable, but the billionaires, the technocrats, will be happy because they'll obtain more assets, more money, potentially more access to people's data, and fundamentally more control.